All right, everyone. The other day, Kanye West held a political rally, and things within the political season are getting funnier. You're in the middle of an epidemic, so Biden's not campaigning, and he's glad about that fact because he doesn't have to show people about the fact that he fails to fill a broom closet with his low enthusiasm. Trump does the Twitter thing like a master and pretty much nothing else at the moment. And then you have Kanye West jump in. Now, keep in mind, he's polling between 2 and 3, I believe, which in a close election could throw just enough weight. Like I look at it this way. I don't think that I follow the conventional wisdom that, well, Kanye West is black, therefore he'd be robbing Biden's black voters. I don't think so. There would be definitely a disproportionate number of Dems likely to switch to him as part of basically a protest never Biden vote or something. It'd be disproportionate, but I don't think it'd be a massive tilt. I think it'd be more like a 60-40 sort of thing. But in a close election, yeah, his existence in the political race could theoretically throw the election to Trump. There is a tilt, an underwhelming one, I think, compared to, again, conventional wisdom, but there would be a tilt enough if it is close, and I think it'll be much closer in November than it is now, based partially on a positive trajectory for the economy, based partially on the fact that the COVID second wave is being systematically dismantled as new information comes in, like, oh, the falling death rate, oh, the fact that the Florida hospitals moved the decimal point and accidentally gave us an order of magnitude more claimed cases and things like that. I see the trajectory moving generally in Trump's favor. He's already found his bottom. He's found his floor. If Kanye West is pulling 2 or 3, it'd be funny if he comes in 3rd place, like the entire Libertarian coalition comes in 4th, and the Greens 5th, and all these other. It'd be funny if Kanye West is like, haha, I got more votes than the Libertarians, than Joe Jorgensen, and whoever the Green Party candidate is. Maybe it'll be hippie grandma again. And here'll be a funny thing, because last time they blamed Jill Stein, who only got like 400,000 votes nationwide, and didn't have enough of a vote threshold in any single state to throw it back to the Dems. As opposed to blaming the Libertarians, who got, something like 8 million votes nationwide, and actually managed to hit double digits in a couple of states. That one was funny. They chose to blame the left-wing female as opposed to Gary Johnson, the dude who didn't even know where Aleppo was. Very sad times. At least Joe Jorgensen probably understands geography better and probably campaign strategy. Hell, maybe they'll pull 5 nationwide. But now they might blame a black dude. So a left-wing female and a self-made proud black man are their scapegoats for losing. But he gives this long, rambling sort of rally, if you call it that. And he breaks down crying and starts talking about his dad having wanted to abort him and like weird stuff like that. And he's wearing a bulletproof vest the whole time, which is kind of pointless when you really think about it. I mean, a Kanye West rally, I think it probably is a love fest, probably more like a concert than anything else. But the dude is talented. He's doing this. He knows he's not going to become the president. That much is clear. Maybe in the future he gains a party nomination or something. Like he could do sort of like a Trump thing, oddly enough. Trump, when he first got into politics, always joked about running, kind of sort of did, years ago, but then, never filed the paperwork. He was sort of always all-encompassing at like CPAC and stuff. But he comes out of the celebrity rich dude side of things. He wasn't ever a career politician. It is possible that Kanye West could do this. And there are a lot of people who said when Arnold Schwarzenegger announced his run for being the governor, a lot of people didn't take it seriously. He became a successful, fairly well-liked governor of California. Certainly better than the shithead that they have in there now. Funnily enough, a never-Trump Republican, I believe. He's basically one of the Bushites, if I remember correctly, mostly policy-wise. Really, a Bushite neocon governor of California, still popular. Shows the power of celebrity. But I mean, Kanye West is unhinged, but I keep saying this, and I think some people think I'm joking. I'm really not. If Trump were to resign, or die, or be incapacitated and wasn't running, if it was Pence or some other Republican, with the exception of if Rand Paul out of nowhere or unironic Jeb Bush run, that I'd probably just vote for him to, basically destroy all of time because I'd become completely black-pilled. Other than that, I think I would vote for Kanye West. I think I would honestly prefer to vote for Kanye West over Biden. At least he's not demented. At least he knows how to create jobs. He's got some screwy beliefs, and he's not necessarily all there in the psychological sense, but he's better than Biden. Biden is such a shitty candidate. Look, he's barely got a minor mandate of a very small majority of people within the Democratic Party. Only about half the Democrats think he's even going to be able to debate Trump. They've spent the last 3 years telling me that Trump is incoherent, nuts, has no clue what he's doing, and is basically a mentally deranged version of some crazy dictator. Basically just a less intelligent Hitler or something. And yet only half of them think that Biden can beat him in a debate. That's very funny. Or not even beat him, but just be able to debate him. Like, I think the question was just, do you think that Biden is capable of debating Trump? And it was barely a majority of Democrats, registered Democrats. Kanye West certainly would do better in a debate. It would be funny if he ends up polling just high enough to get on a debate stage 2. I don't think he can, because the Election Commission, unfortunately, is run by Republicans and Democrats, so they have a tendency to stonewall even qualifying candidates from third parties or independent candidacies, because they're just fucking terrified about the idea of the public getting exposed to something other than lukewarm neocon or lukewarm neolib. They're terrified. Like, they'd be terrified if Bernie Sanders said, I'm going to start an independent run, and he starts polling at 10%. He should do that. He should just crash and burn the Democrats. He should tell people the real truth, Bernie, instead of sucking more Pelosi money off, instead of grabbing another million Soros bucks and buying a fourth home. Why don't you stick to your guns and go out with a bang, so to speak, and tell your fans not to bother voting for the Democrats because they've gone off a fucking cliff, which they have. That's because he's just basically a money grubber, but, that's just the way it is within politics most of the time. That's why they're pissed at Trump. Because they can't bribe the dude. He's worth too much money. He's part of the donor class. It's going to be hard to do. And he knows where the skeletons are buried, so to speak, so a lot of people can't even openly attack him. It's funny. The ones that are more vocal, they're either projecting or maybe they even have nothing to hide in some cases. There are a lot of silent voices in Hollywood, people that don't like Trump that much, but they sort of low-key it at this point. It's interesting how that starts happening after Epstein finally gets whacked. But yeah, Kanye West goes completely ballistic, basically, but he's still better than Biden. That's the name of the game at this point. It's basically, there is a strong, I think, never Biden coalition of people that fundamentally support either the Democrats in a partisan sense or liberalism, leftism in some capacity, that nonetheless just can't really get behind Biden. When I think about Biden in that role, it's not believable. Now, many, many months ago, when the primaries began, I said Biden, technically he ticked the box when we did our little thought experiment about think of who you would cast in the role as president. Trump ticks the box because he's the incumbent, automatically ticks the box. Biden ticks the box, not because of his personality, not because of intelligence or finesse or people believing that he can do a good job, but simply because he was VP. So he was already in a role that's akin to the presidency. He's been vice president. It's close enough. It ticks the box. There weren't very many people in the field that ticked the box. Ultimately, a lot of them you would cast as the insane president in a comedy, or you'd cast him as the evil president, like the corporate cutthroat that beats their way to the top and then beats the nation to the ground. Like, that's how I register like a Klobuchar or a Harris or something like that. Warren, sort of like the corporate casino branch manager style president, like a corrupt governor sort of thing. That's who you'd cast her as. Biden only ticks the box because he was VP. Kanye West practically ticks the box better. But again, think about what kind of presidential role, if you were designing a movie and you're choosing someone to play the role of president, which one would Kanye West be? It'd be a comedic president. It would be a harmless president, a well-meaning president, but a bumbler, someone who's funny. But at the same time, somebody who has come into a huge amount of money because of, really, their branding finesse. And that's what this is about. That's what his run is about. The Kanye West run is really to sell albums and shirts and stuff like that and keep his name out there in order to gain more notoriety. It brings in money. He's not going to spend that much on the campaign, and even if he were to drop $10 million on a bunch of ads, he would just end up getting a return because it would basically just be an advertisement for his merch, be an advertisement for whatever shit he's trying to sell. Trump had this goal too. I guarantee if Trump had lost, he would have made quite a bit of lucrative cash out of his ill-fated presidential run. Oh, he probably would have preferred losing at certain points. Like, oh, I'm spending all this fucking money. How much of his own money did he have to loan his own campaign through the Trump Incorporated sort of shit? Wasn't it several $100 million or something? That's the other reason why when Biden outraises him, it's like, you know, you're trying to outraise a dude who's, how many properties does he own around the world? You know, technically he divests himself and they're in trust with his family, but at the same time, at any given time, they can be liquidated. How much money are those buildings worth? $100 million a piece or something? Some insane total like that? Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'm Trump 2020, but I mean, if it weren't Trump, it would probably be Kanye West. And in all honesty, I would never vote for Biden. I don't want a demented war pig as president. That's about all. Peace out.